Welcome into Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters. We are coming to you live from the Hooters Owl's Nest. Casey Phillips alongside Chris Godwin. Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
It's funny. Whenever I've already picked someone to come on the show, then I'm obviously very concerned with what they do in the game.
Yeah.
You scored that touchdown, and I was like, let's go.
Let's go.
This is going to be great.
For sure.
First of all, what did this win mean to this team? We know everyone is important.
Yeah.
But this one felt a little extra important.
Yeah, for sure. I think just like based on how the season has been going, a lot of ups and downs, but coming into like this home stretch of the season, like we realize how important every game is, especially divisional games. So it's like, Coach Bowles told us before the game, or the day before rather, that we're 8 days from being in first place in our division, and I guess it's more of like just speaking to, I guess like the intensity that we need to have and how important this one is, and because obviously like the next game we play the Falcons, and they beat us the last time, so it's really important. It's like if we have any aspiration of being in the postseason, we got to have these games.
And of course, I mean, I feel like we just practically could have a whole show of a Mike Evans appreciation show.
Sure.
And I felt like, again, perfect person to have on here to talk about him, because you're going to be willing to talk about him more than he would even be willing to talk about him. So
sure.
I'm like, this is perfect. So again, 10th straight 1,000-yard season, extending his own record to start a career. And then now he's tied with Randy Moss for the second most 1,000-yard straight seasons at any point in a career, behind only Jerry Rice with one more.
Yeah.
Hearing those numbers, those stats, and those names is the company he's in.
Yeah.
What does that record say to you? What does that mean, and the significance of it when there's stats being thrown around all the time? But that one in particular, what does that say?
I mean, it's so impressive, like everything like that he's done in his career. And I was actually just thinking about it when I was doing my lift earlier today. Like it's crazy because when I got here, he obviously had already had 1,000 yards for a couple of seasons, but for whatever reason, when I got here, I thought he was in like year 6 or 7.
Because he just comes across that way,
Yeah,
probably.
he just comes across that way. But also, like I watched him when I was in college.
When you were just a kid,
when I was just a kid. But no, but then it kind of dawned on me that I've been here now for 7 of them, and so just being able to see and witness like this history, up close and personal, and knowing him like, like as well as I do, like he's a brother of mine, and I couldn't be happier for him. He's a great guy. People in the community love him. He does great things, but like he's also a great teammate. Like he never really cares about like talking about himself or about like the stats and stuff. But I think deep down, like having this having this record going and doing this is going to be important to him, because like when he's old and he's gone, like from the game, his kids can see that and see what hard work gets you, what doing the right things get you. So it's pretty cool to see, pretty cool for him to be mentioned with some of the best to ever do it. And to me, I mean, he's one of the best to ever do it, so it's fitting.
That's awesome. And why is he so good against the Panthers? Like, what is the deal?
I'm sure they're tired of him.
Yeah, right?
I'm sure they will be happy when Mike Evans is out of the division.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is specifically, but I just think that he does a great job, and obviously like there's like the familiarity of going against a defense, twice a year, but he just seems to go off, especially these last couple of games.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And take us through his 75-yard touchdown pass. From your perspective of where you were watching this happen.
Yeah.
Tell us what you thought.
So I mean, I had motion from that side to the other side of the field, just running like a little like a short little hitch route, and I was open. And like normally, like the play progresses from the side, like me and Cade back side. So I'm open. I'm like, bet ball.
Yeah.
I think I'm just like standing here with my hands in the air, and I see Baker look left, and he throws it, and I look and I see Mike. He breaks free. Like as soon as he caught the ball, he took off, and like he was like shot out of a rocket, and I'm just like, go,
Yes.
like, just go, and like, people. I think some people think that he's old, but he's 30.
Yeah.
And he was flying.
Yeah.
And he took off, and I don't know if 23 wanted to catch him or not, but Mike was flying, and like. It was a big play for us because, I mean, we were down 10-7 at that point. So, big spark for us. Stadium erupted. It was exactly what we needed.
That's huge. And, yeah, I love to think that at 30, it is funny that it's like, yeah, he's getting old. He's over the hill. It feels to me like he's almost just getting better. Does it feel that way to you guys?
For sure. I think, like, I don't know if it's because of, like, how the team season has been going or, like, people just, like, downing the NFC South or what, but he's quietly having like one of the better receivers seasons for a receiver right now. Like what is he, second and third in touchdowns, something like that. 1,000 yards, 60 catches.
It's insane.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous. We're talking to Chris Godwin. How does having him help your game, and how do you two feel like you each help each other in the way you see defenses try to take you both on, and just what it's like to have someone else of such a high caliber playing your position?
Yeah, I think it's I think the biggest thing is just like having both of us at the same time, like being able to like to I guess to play like off of each other. Like you said, defenses have to like game plan for that. Like but at the same time, we like play two different roles. You know, like what we provide to the team is two different things, and I think that they're both like complementary to each other. But I think the biggest thing is like neither one of us particularly like have like a big ego about everything. Like it's not like Mike scores a touchdown and I'm like you know,
Yeah.
and vice versa. So I think just like the relationship that we've built over the last 7 years, I think has really helped a lot of it, and I've learned a lot from him, and I'm sure like there's some things that he probably learned from me, which is like interesting.
Yeah, that's got to
But,
be a cool feeling too.
yeah, it's really cool.
Now take us through your touchdown, your second rushing touchdown of your career,
Yeah.
Mr. Able to do it all.
Yeah, gotta try to be as versatile as I can. Initially, I was really just expecting to just get the first down because it's 3rd and 1. It's a play that we've been cooking up for a little while. We tried to run it, I think, maybe versus the Saints, but it was a penalty. So just trying to I get the ball on a little sweep or end around or whatever, and get out and have the first down. But then I see Cade, Cole got to go block to get it started, and Cade's blocking the DB into the end zone. So I'm like, man, I have to score. I got to do whatever I can to get in the end zone, and made one guy miss, and then at the end it's just like finish it, which was like it was a big moment for us. I think like trying to put the game away. I think we needed that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Were you aware that you have now passed Jimmy Giles for the 4th most touchdowns from scrimmage in team history?
I was not aware of that.
Well, now
Yeah,
you know.
that's awesome.
4th most in team history.
That's nice.
What does that mean to you? Especially when, like you said, I mean, you're not a guy that's been here for 12, 15 years. I mean, to be at this point in your career, you did miss some time with injury and still have a stat like that. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I feel like I'm pretty similar to Mike, and like I don't talk about myself a ton, but I think
I'll have to have Mike on to ask him about this record for you. You know.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it's like I think it is pretty cool. Like I feel like by the end of my career, there'll probably be me and Mike just like 1 and 2, in a lot of these like major categories, and I think that like when we look back on, or fans look back on this time in Bucs history, it's like it was a really good time.
Yeah.
A good time to be alive. Good time to witness some talented guys do what they love, and at the same time.
Yeah, I feel like for so many sports fans, it's about being there for the moments, right? Being there for the memories of, I got to see this guy play. I got to see this stat happen.
Yeah.
And I know I feel that way of getting to watch you and Mike together. It is that thing of when you look at Bucs history, you guys are Bucs history at this point.
Yeah.
And I think that's a pretty cool thing. And you almost didn't play in the game.
Yeah.
Man, neck is never a thing you want to see on an injury report.
Never. Absolutely never.
So take us through how this happened and the decision to play. And you seemed like you were truly a game time decision.
Yeah, it definitely was a game time decision. Just something that flared up on me, maybe like Thursday in practice, like middle of practice. Something that I dealt with a couple weeks back, but thought it was resolved, and maybe not so much. So, to my surprise, it flared up on me on Thursday, and I had like a lot of, like my range of motion was limited. And like you said, like with necks, I feel like you can never be too cautious. I love playing football. I love what I do, but my ultimate goal is to be able to walk away from this game and to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor, enjoy my family, enjoy many years of doing whatever it is that comes after my career. So it was a legitimate like game time decision, just trying to figure out if it was safe for me to go out and play, and if I would be able to go out and play at a level that I wasn't doing a disservice to my team.
Yeah, I think we can say you made a good call on that. How about the rain's effect on the game? I mean, torrential downpour for a while, and never fun as an offense, I'm sure. Never fun as a wide receiver. So tell me how much you guys feel like it impacted the game plan, what y'all were able to do, and just the way you guys tried to handle it.
Yeah, it always like impacts like the game. And there's different levels of rain too. And that one, it was not a light rain. I think a downpour fits. Feel like that rain was very wet. Like wetter than most rains. But so like it impacts the game. It impacts your play calling. It impacts your mentality. Like as a receiver, like I think Mike caught maybe like a slant or something, and Baker threw it in the perfect spot for him to body catch it, and he got hit at the same time. Where it's like if you're outstretched, it's a lot harder. It's like catching a wet fish.
I love these metaphors. The wettest rain, catching a wet fish. I love it.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
So it definitely impacts the game, and I think you saw that from both teams as it was pouring down. You start to run the ball a little bit more. But like at the end of the day, we have to go out there and do our job and try to do it to the best of our ability. So when you go out there, like your mentality is just like try to keep your hands as dry as possible, and then catch the ball and just hold it as tight as you can.
Yeah. I remember in training camp, I talked to you and you were changing your cleats for like the third time during practice. That was due to sweat though, instead of rain.
Yeah.
But I imagine your gloves, your shoes, you're definitely someone that thinks about a lot of that. Did you have a strategy for, like you said, trying to keep your hands dry, keep things like, did you treat it similarly to sweat?
I would say similar to sweat, but not the exact same. Like I think like for like my hands, like I was walking around with my thumbs like tucked inside my palms closed like the entire time. Or if I'm on the sideline, I get underneath a towel or inside a hand warmer, just trying to keep them as dry as possible. And weirdly enough, as much as it was raining, my cleats were not nearly as soaked as they are during training camp when I'm sweating.
That's funny.
And
speaks a lot of your sweat level.
Yeah. Elite level.
Elite
I'm
level.
sweating.
You're just good at everything, man. Football, sweating, all of it. That's great. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. This is Buccaneers Radio. Welcome back into Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters. We are coming to you from the Hooters Owl's Nest, and we found an alley Marpet in the commercial break.
I like to think that I found you guys.
I love it.
That's
Thank
sweet.
you. It's very sweet. Yes, he was busy taking his finals like a good student, taking an ethics final, which we're hoping you pass for a lot of reasons.
At least I get another shot at it, which is so. If I have to go back, I'll do that. But
Great.
yeah, I'm flipping gears right now because I was just my hand's a little sore. Actually, I was writing for 3
Writing
hours.
so many
3
things.
hours.
Right for 3 hours?
Yeah. So like,
Jeez.
you know, it's pretty hard out here.
Yeah.
Rough.
It's basically like playing a game.
Are we going to put you on the injury report with your sore hand?
Honestly.
Oh, great. All right. So we were just talking about the game, and I did want to talk about one more thing with the game before we kind of move on from that. First of all, Allie was the captain of the game. So I don't know if people know what this means. This was a new thing this year. It turned out you didn't really know what it meant ahead of time.
I had limited knowledge of what I was getting into. It started off by me it started off with my brother wanting to tailgate at the game. So he wanted to go to the game, and he wanted 6 tickets. And this was my way to get 6 tickets.
Free tickets.
Free tickets to the game.
That's smart.
And this was kind of the only way. And the captain of the crew, again, it's new. I didn't really know what it was. They did send me one video, I think, of Batista doing it, but I figured I would do something different. I didn't realize there was like a standard, this is how you pump up the crowd. We want you walking from here. There wasn't as much creative liberty as I was hoping because I don't have the rah-rah.
That's pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the two of you both are.
I think we can get them going.
Yeah,
Get the whole crew going.
You think so?
Do you have a hype up?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I
like,
do not.
Like, you know what
Oh,
I'm
the
saying?
hype, the video.
Oh, hype video?
Yeah,
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
How
I
is
think they
it?
played it once.
Is it cringy for you, or what do you think
It's
about
not
it?
as cringy as it's been in the past.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
like-
you've improved on it?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
My
That's
reads
Great.
gotten a little better.
So yeah, so for people who don't know, captain of the crew is this idea of getting the crowd fired up right before kickoff on the ship, and you're given. I'm going to have my lovely assistant over here bring me.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
For the people
Excellent.
listening to the
Now you're
radio, they won't be able to see this, but your sword is what you were given for part of Captain of the Crew that is engraved
How
with
cool
the
is this?
captain of the crew and the date that you did
So
it.
That's very cool.
Not only did I get
That's
the
very
6
cool.
tickets, I got a sword out of it.
I think I might
And
do
this-
that one time.
This is going right on the desk. Just do it right before game time.
Just
you know?
before you go up there.
Wait, were you able to see it at all? I have a
So
question.
I heard you,
Okay.
And I was like, "Where's Allie at?" And then Luke's looking around the tunnel. He said, "Look, it's Allie. He's on the screen." so I peeked over.
We actually have photos from our team photographer, Kyle Zedeker, of Tristan and Luke seeing you.
Yep, that
And
was very cool.
they are so excited. Again, for people listening on the radio, we're going to try to put them on the Bucs website, but we're going to have them here as part of our video. They literally look like
awesome.
a kid seeing Santa. Like,
Yeah.
they were just
They were very hyped.
so excited.
I was
Well,
also
that-
excited.
So like, it felt like I had a role in getting the crowd and the game going.
And
you know?
they won, so it's all thanks to you,
now
obviously.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Was I think you
Basically-
have to keep doing it every home game.
Yeah. So we'll just keep that rolling. for
Wanna
a bit.
know?
Yeah.
Free tickets for you every game here.
Free tickets, free swords.
How many swords
You
do I
might get your own ship later on.
Honestly, I just want like different components of a pirate uniform, so I get a hat next time, get a vest, and just keep working my way until I become a full-on pirate.
Are you able to get an eye patch without losing an eye?
That would be my next item. No, but
amazing.
I will never do that again.
He was basically like, I don't think this
was-
was worth the
yes.
tickets. Like, I,
I'd rather pay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I was paying for next time. It's okay. You live and you learn.
It was
Yeah.
just very funny as he was learning what this was going to entail and knowing that I feel like, again, the two of you, this is like the least like your personalities
Yeah.
in general of like you're both just a little bit more low key.
I was very surprised.
Yeah.
Like very surprised we did it because I probably would not have. I was
So
like,
what
Yeah.
they told me. Here's the thing. I think I'm too much of a people pleaser because what they told me, like people have like seen what it was, and I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, but they were like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that."
Yeah.
And like I kind of get it. I put in my mind, I
But
was like,
you
I'm not
were
gonna,
all in.
I'm not gonna say no once I'm here. you
Yeah.
know?
I was so impressed. You really went like all in with it and had fun with it, and you did a great
you
job.
did a good job.
Thank you. I think if I were to do it again, I'd love some like music, some like fun music. You know, make
Yes.
it a little bit more.
What would be
They-
your music of choice?
Oh, what a great
My
question.
my walk up song.
Yeah.
What a great question.
Gosh.
You're going to have to
There-
answer this too, by the way, so
Yeah.
think about
What
that.
yeah. What would your walk up song be?
Well, mine be great question.
Don't you have one in the warm-ups?
Do I have one?
Yeah. What
Yeah.
is?
It's a Drake song.
Yeah.
Is that-
I didn't remember. I was hoping you remembered.
It was Jimmy Cook's.
And so is this why? Would this be your song still?
Would that be my song still? No, I feel like what's the song? Enter the Sandman.
Oh yeah.
No.
I feel like
Nice.
that'd be
That
pretty
would be
sick.
good.
That
I want
is a
something
good one.
everybody can join in on.
Yeah.
Like
that-
I'm a big Drake fan, but that doesn't mean everyone is.
I like that. Yours would
me-
be like Earth, Wind, and Fire. because
Yeah,
that was
probably.
always
I
your
need
jam.
something to bounce to. I need like they wanted me to walk slowly, but walking slow with no music, they wanted to make it look ominous. I'm not scary. I'm not scaring anyone.
They were telling him to like walk with like
Like some-
swag or something,
Yeah.
and he was like,
with no music.
Ah.
Like what do you expect from me? It's a tough job.
He
You
said-
probably do
told
like
him-
Sean Paul.
Yeah. So I would do if I could. Yeah, I would.
he told him he's like, I walk pretty normal, guys, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that was my highlight of the game. Was watching
And then
Allie be.
I also wanted you to support, and you had to. I mean, obviously, you had other stuff
I
to
did.
important stuff to do on game day.
Yes.
But like, I just wanted some.
I did come up in support, for the record. I was there when you did it. He blacked out though, and obviously doesn't remember this. I like ran up there from my thing to try to give moral support, and now
okay.
he's acting like I wasn't.
And now
there.
I just
Look
give
at
you
this.
crap for it
Look at
for no
this.
reason. Ungrateful.
Look at see. This is why I need Chris here for all the shows. He's on my side. Okay, so also looking at this game, we just always got to talk about Antoine Winfield Jr. That's like we have just sort of a standing Antoine segment on this show. So 8 tackles, 2 for loss, 3 passes defensed, a sack, and an interception. Since these stats have been recorded, he became just the 3rd player ever to have a stat line like that.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so I guess 99 is when this kind of stat keeping was formed. So since 1999,
Right.
there have only been 3 players that have gotten those kind of numbers in all those categories.
Wow.
Isn't that nuts?
That's insane.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's
so,
stud.
Yeah, go, just go.
No,
Antoine
he's-
Winfield.
He's a stud, man. Like every time like we're on the sideline and he makes a play, like we look at each other like what a baller. Like every single time, and it's like he has a nose for the football. Like obviously, like he's undersized for like his position, but you wouldn't know it based on like how he plays. Like so much heart and intensity. I'm a big Antoine Winfield Jr. fan.
I think we all are.
Dude,
It's
he's
wild.
unbelievable. Like, I don't know, we've talked about how important like turnovers are. Like, obviously that's played out, but like it's so important.
Yeah.
And the fact that you have a guy that's consistently doing
Mm-hmm.
it is just like it's unbelievable. The value add is unbelievable. He's
Yeah.
just like actually the definition of a game record.
Yeah.
Like, awesome.
Yep, we're here talking to Chris Godwin, and I was thinking about how Antoine actually kind of reminds me of you, Chris, in terms of the way he came into the league so ready, so mature, like just plays kind of beyond his years of where he never seemed like a rookie. And you were the same way, where like you never seemed like a rookie, and you seemed like a 10-year vet, like day one. Do you feel a similarity between the two of you guys, or what is it that you feel like enabled the two of you to come in with that kind of mindset?
I definitely see like a similarity. Like, I mean, even like off the field, like in demeanor, like he's very like low key, reserved. But he's a smart player, and I think like those kind of things like translate well regardless of what level you come from, regardless of like like your stature. It's like if you're a smart player, if you work hard and like you just don't do dumb stuff, you know what I mean? Because like there's a lot.
He makes it sound so simple.
But it's like there's a lot of guys that come in and like the moment, like whether the moment's too big for him or like he's just like, why'd you do that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the one way that I also describe it, like in order to have success in the NFL and the things that you and Antoine do well, like the things that need to be done, I think I might have said this on the show, are often very simple. Like the things you just talked about, like those are simple enough concepts, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
Like doing that like consistently is not easy.
Yeah.
And so it sounds when you say, oh, don't do this or don't do that, like just be a smart player or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it is really simple. Concept to become a successful player, but it's really difficult to do week in, week out, year in, year out.
Yeah, but it also isn't necessarily a thing that like you just start when you get to the league.
Right.
Like the things that he's doing or like that he's really good at, he probably have been doing for years.
You can't just flip a switch day one and think you're all of a sudden going to practice differently or prepare differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you have to have been building these habits for a while.
Exactly.
I feel like there are some guys. I mean, yes, I'm trying to think.
I guess
of
typically,
guys.
yeah.
No
There's always the
question.
exceptions.
I'm also biased because I think I was a little similar. Like I think that I grew as a player, but I was pretty.
You
similar.
also were one of these people.
Like the
yes.
foundation was there.
Yeah, the foundation was there, and it's just refining some certain things. But I'm trying to think. There are definitely some players that are able to, at some point, like have a conversation or have like a moment that sort of.
Oh yeah, this is what I need to do.
This is what I need to do.
Yeah.
Like whether they're getting cut or injured or something like that. But
like a wake-up call.
yeah, Chris and Antoine, not those guys.
Yeah, so I think the best example of how we know that Chris has been this way forever is when you are married to your high school coach's daughter.
Yeah.
To get permission in high school for your coach to approve of you. I would love for how many dudes that played high school football, if they're honest with themselves, think, would my coach have let me date his daughter? That to me is like the ultimate
standard.
That's the standard of like you were a solid dude from day one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, yep.
Yes. Again, and like mentioned earlier, I don't really talk about myself a lot. But what I will
It's a problem
say
on this show, man.
but-
I'm not gonna lie. That's
but
kind of
what I
here.
will say
Cheer
is
for that.
like I think that I'm genuinely like a nice person. Like I'm
Yes.
a good dude.
Retweet.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Yes.
We'll endorse that.
But
Yes.
like there's some people that like on the surface like they look like they may be, but like they're not really living right.
Yeah.
And like I like just maybe it was like how I've been raised and like the people that I've been around, but I always try to like operate like in good faith.
Yep,
Like,
and you do
I wanna
100%.
treat people well, and just like put my best foot forward. As cliche as it may seem.
No, it's awesome.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think that having a coach give you the endorsement, like
Yeah,
to
it's a
date,
big deal.
yeah, it's the same thing. Like dating a sister or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Same mindset.
Yeah.
I think, and it's so interesting because this wide receiver room, especially being led by you and Mike, like just like you said, good people and the unselfishness is so incredible. I mean, of course, we all know the stereotypes of wide receivers. They're divas. They're this. They're that. And like, it is
I mean, he's
wild.
right here. You
I know
don't
he's
have
right.
to-
Oh, Chris, I didn't see you.
It's a little awkward. I mean, yeah.
But I mean, man, you guys are just so the opposite of that. And I would love to know where you think that came from for both of you and just what you think that means to this room, this team, like for you of why you were just never going to be that guy.
Yeah, I think some of it's just like in my nature. But like when I first started playing football, my first 2 or 3 years I played offensive line because of like.
Well, now it makes
Wait,
sense.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious. Well, like so in the youth football league that I played in Delaware, it
Yeah.
was like anybody can play because like there's some youth leagues where if you don't make the weight, you can't play at all.
Right.
So in mine,
Anybody.
anybody can play like in your age group. But it was like let's say the weight limit was 65 pounds. Like if you're under 65 pounds, you can play any position. If you're above that, between 65 and 75, you're what's called a one striper. One striper on your helmet.
Yep.
You can catch the ball as like a tight end, but like you can't like be a quarterback or a running back. And then above that, two striper.
Oh boy.
I was always a two striper. So you like offensively
No way.
play offensive line, but defense you could play anywhere. So I was like a linebacker and like I was
Heat
everywhere.
seeking missile.
Yeah, but like we would like almost every play we're running toss and like I'm the pulling guard and just like knocking kids over because I was always like Like if kids are here, I'm like here.
Yeah.
Like still like similar frame. Like I was like a thin kid, but I was just taller than everybody else.
So you weigh more, dude. That is incredible. So
amazing.
I was also a double X.
Yep.
So we didn't have a stripe. We had an X on the helmet. So 1X or 2X. I was 2X as well. But
I
I
feel
was
like the stripe is a little less obvious. It's
I
kind of
think
nice.
so,
Like
too.
it's a little more gentle.
Like a design on the
yeah,
helmet.
I think so too.
It looks like a cool design instead of
Yeah.
being
The
like
two
double
X's,
XL.
yeah,
Like,
and on the back of the helmet. It's not a great look. But also the other piece of the double XL and Pee Wee for us is like even if there was a fumble, like we couldn't advance.
You
the
couldn't.
ball.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
That's
It's terrible.
unbelievable.
look at this.
I
The
never grew
gripes.
out of it though.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
some people aren't as fortunate. You know.
So now it makes sense as to why he's this
Here's
humble,
an offensive
wonderful.
lineman. I bet
Yes.
Anton was a lineman
Yeah.
at first too.
At some point, that's
Yeah.
going to be the explanation.
Yeah.
And it also maybe explains your willingness to block and your skills in the blocking
Yeah,
game.
seriously.
Yeah.
But I think it plays like that plays a role into how I am just as a player because since I couldn't carry the ball, I wasn't just out hunting for stats. I'm like, man, I love this football. Like this is fun. I just want to win, get to hit people, and then maybe like my third year, I was a one striper.
Tight end?
I moved up tight end.
Nice.
Oh wow,
Technically moved
I was
down.
going crazy. I was going crazy, like a bunch of touchdowns. I was like, this is even better. And then started watching football, and like all my favorite players are now like receivers. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I got to be.
We gotta get rid of this stripe.
I got to get rid of the stripe.
Start cutting weight.
Yeah, at 10 years
At
old.
10 years old, dieting, yeah.
Dieting, run around in like a trash bag. Like gotta make weight. Like it was funny too, cause like we would do our weight at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
And like, as you know, I'm a kid, so I have to have kid thoughts. And like every time I would get on the scale, I just like suck my stomach in. Like
That's gonna make
like
you
that's
lighter.
gonna make me like. And every
Oh,
time
man.
like heartbroken that it's like too sharp again.
Again, oh my god.
But I had a lot of fun, and I do think that it translates to like my mentality now because it's like when I go out there, I'm not like, nah, I can't block because
Right.
like I understand how important it is to the game and like to the overall scheme of everything. So that and just like being unselfish, like it's a bigger picture. It's not just about one guy or one group. It's like sometimes it's your game to go off, sometimes it's not.
That's awesome.
Wow, I love that. I also think that everyone should play offensive line. Then that's my.
But you're not biased or anything.
No. Like you're just you know
makes
the
sense, though.
ultimate assist man. You
Yeah.
know, you're just like there's not really a stat to.
There's no glory.
There's no
Yeah.
glory there, and then you know you do it for the teammates and the love of the game.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
That's awesome. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. This is Buccaneers Radio. Welcome back into Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters. We are coming to you live from the Hooters Owl's Nest. Casey Phillips, Allie Marpet, alongside Chris Godwin. We were talking about the fact that you were having to be a bigger dude back then in your little pee-wee days. You now, though, you are definitely a guy that knows how to like take care of his body, and you prioritize that a whole lot. You were able to definitely come back incredibly quickly and well from a huge injury. Just take us through like so much of the physical side of the game for you, of both injury, recovery, and then the ways that you take it so seriously now.
So I think like the majority of my time, I'm either like playing football or like recovering so that I can play football again, like especially
that
like in
sounds good.
season, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of different things that I do to get my body ready. I don't know if I can name all of them, but like, so like I love doing like contrast in the tubs. Like,
Contrast is great.
I do that on
So
Saturday.
that's the hot, cold,
Yep,
back and forth.
yeah, back and forth. I do that on Thursdays or not Thursdays, Saturdays.
That sounds terrible.
Every morning,
I would absolutely hate it, yeah.
every morning before I come to work, I do a cold tub, and I enjoy that for like 3 minutes. It gets me going.
Again,
You enjoy
terrible.
it for 3 minutes, or you
do it for-
endure it for 3 minutes?
I enjoy it.
Okay.
See,
Like,
this
so,
is
like,
why
I-
he's built different.
But I've gotten to the, so at first it sucked, but now I've gotten to the point where like my body is like, oh man, like I can't wait to get in. Because like the feeling when you get out, it's like,
Okay.
yes, it's amazing.
Okay.
So I do those. I do a bunch of like mobility stuff throughout the week. What else do I do? I do float tanks occasionally, acupuncture.
You do the float tanks?
Yeah. Do you not like it?
Okay,
is
so
that the
have you-
like deprivation thing where
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
I've never done it.
How long you go in there for an hour?
Yeah, an hour.
Music, no music.
No music.
Wow. That's some
said-
discipline.
I haven't done it in a while because I think the one that I went to started to get kind of grimy. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, yeah, it's just like the same water. It's salty water.
So do you guys
But
change this?
You got to go to a nice one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But you're in there for don't realize how
Long
long
an
an
hour
hour
is.
is.
it's
until
like
you have-
plank
Till
minutes.
till
Yeah.
it's just you,
Yeah.
like in your and your thoughts are like, For me, it was hard to get adjusted to like the water being in your ears
Yes.
because then
It's
all you're doing,
uncomfortable.
you're just like hearing like your breathing and like your heartbeat.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing else there. You can't really touch your eyes or anything because there's salt on your hands.
Yeah. And then it's like it's totally dark in there, so like you are totally disoriented. You have a little pillow though. Do you
Yep.
have a pillow? Okay,
Yeah.
a little pillow to keep you trying to
So you
keep you
don't
out of the
drown.
water.
Cool.
Oh no! If you
No,
no,
it's-
it's very very difficult to drown. It might be 12 inches of water.
Well, and then also it's incredibly
salty.
salty.
Yeah, so
so
you're
you're
floating.
Like
but-
you would have to try to. Like you'd have to roll over and this is like
because you do fall. I mean, do you fall asleep
every time.
Oh, yes. Okay. So yeah, I would fall asleep
time.
too.
That's
So
so
it's like
interesting.
you feel comfortable enough to fall asleep. So.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. So now for you coming in at this point in your career, you get a new coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what that was like for you this season of you get a new guy and then a new wide receiver coach as well.
Mm-hmm.
And what are some of the things that you feel like you've enjoyed about his scheme and them as coaches to set you up this year?
So I mean, every time you get a new like coordinator or a new coach, it's like it's a learning curve. Like I mean, so like you kind of go in with like an open mind because like you expect the best, right? Just let's see where this goes. Let's see like what they have to offer, like how this scheme like comes together, and like immediately like I liked the scheme. Like it made a lot of sense. It seemed like we were gonna be, like things had a reason for what we were doing as opposed to just like calling plays, which I respected. Seemed like there was gonna be a little bit more of an emphasis on the run game, and then everything kind of stemming off of that. So it just took like some adjusting to because it's a new language. You learn the terminology and then you go on from there. But in terms of like Dave and Brad, so Brad's our receivers coach, and then Dave is obviously the OC. I like Dave's energy. I think that like he's been the same person like since he got here. Like he's very grateful to be here, grateful to be in his position, and he vocalizes that, which I respect. And like he's just like a calm presence. Like I don't know if I've ever seen him like angry. Like I think like he tried one time on training camp, and I was like, I said, is Dave all right? Like, is he good? Because like, you can tell he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And then Brad's been really good for us. He's a young guy. I think him and Mike might be the same age.
Yeah. It's
wild.
crazy.
But it's like, but he's a very smart guy. Like he knows ball. He knows like the receiver position, and again like a consistent like presence like in our room. And I think that, like he's leaned on me and Mike to kind of like lead the room and kind of set the tone. And I think me and Mike do a really good job of that. Just like in terms of like having it be like an open, like a free space and like a fun environment, so no one's just like bound up all the time.
Yeah.
But like knowing when it's time to work, we have to work.
Yeah.
And it's been a good thing so far.
That's cool. And you guys seem like you have a fun room too, that it's not only you and Mike, but now you got Trey Palmer added to the mix.
Trey is a wild boy.
Trey is a crazy man, and I love it so much. He's got so much personality. And
Yes.
what do you see as his potential and what he's brought to the room?
I think Trey has a ton of potential. I think he can play in this league for a long time. And I love Trey's mindset. Like every single day, like he's up. And like if he's not, it's because he's sick, like literally sick.
Yeah,
And, like,
that's it. Otherwise, he's ready to go.
Otherwise, like he's up and I feel like that might be like a consistent theme for people from Louisiana because I don't know if I've met anybody from Louisiana that is not hilarious. Like,
love
I
it.
think it's pulsing through their veins. But Trey, he knows who he is and he's gonna be that. Like he's not gonna like front. He's not gonna try to be somebody else. He's like, this is who I am. He says things funny. Like you have to. Side note, you have to hear Trey say barbed wire. It's hilarious.
What does he sound like?
Bow wow. And he was saying, and I was like, "Are you saying bow wow like Shad Moss?" Like I was like, "What are you talking about?" But like we're talking about like the holidays, because obviously it's holiday season,
Yep.
and he said, "I don't believe in holidays."
I don't believe in holidays.
Okay. So
Yeah, but he's just like, but he was different. Like, why? He was like, it's just another day. Every day is a great day. Like every day is a holiday.
Adorable.
I'm
I
like,
was
so
about to be
wholesome.
upset, and
Yeah.
then I was like,
Such a
he turned it
wholesome
wholesome. At first,
response.
I thought we were going for like a Grinch situation,
No,
and then it was
no.
like the opposite. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. But not like, but he's a great kid and a ton of fun to be around. And I think that he has a bright future because he wants to get better. Like he asks questions.
Mm-hmm.
He understands like where like his strong suits are and what he has to work on. So I think he can be really good because of that.
And you called him a kid, which I really enjoy because
That
makes
is
you sound
hilarious.
real old.
Real old.
Yeah.
I don't like
What's,
that.
what's the age, what is the age difference?
I
Yeah.
think 5 years.
Yeah.
I think he's 22.
No, but
Hey, but you know, football years.
Football years,
dog
yeah.
years,
It
dog
is.
years.
It's
It's
so true.
insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just loved that. Like you're such that like old vet now that
No
you're like,
way.
he's a good kid.
No,
you know?
no, I mean, it's true.
It's happening.
It's very true. And this game was the My Cause, My Cleats game, which I always love. Tell us about your cleats and the cause you were supporting.
So my cleats were what were my cleats? What design did we have on them? Oh,
been a
we
whole
had
day.
it's
been a whole day. It's
24 hours.
24 hours,
A long
man. How do you
time.
remember this?
Yeah.
It's a 24-hour relief.
Yeah, it's
You
done.
forget everything. Forget the game, the
Yeah.
cleats, everything. So my cleats were supporting my foundation, the Team Godwin Foundation, and you know, we do a lot of work with animal rescue, specifically dogs. Just like Allie, you guys know, just trying to raise funds for to support shelter dogs, and and trying to get more people to choose to adopt their dogs as opposed to buying from breeders. We provide a lot of financial support for the health causes that they may have. Like some of them are in bad shape, and like obviously there's nobody there to pay for the services that they need. We have a second chance fund, so if it's like an older dog that may be in a bad situation, providing them the opportunity to maybe find a home later in their lives. And then recently we've partnered with Canines for Warriors, which is we are funding service dogs to be trained to then be given to veterans that need it.
That's
And
awesome.
so that was what my cleats was representing. And on the cleats there was a dog named Zana, and that was the first dog that we funded. That we
Oh, very cool.
for
That's
service
awesome.
dog. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
is,
really cool.
Is Zana in training, or is it Zana
She
training?
Zana has completed her training.
Wow.
Look at
That's
that.
super cool.
That was really
And
cool.
you guys also had, was it, I don't know if it was your first, but like the gala that you guys
Yeah,
had?
it was our
Third or
Third.
fourth?
our third gala. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
unbelievable. How was
yeah.
that?
It was amazing. We
Yeah.
had a really really great turnout. A bunch of people came. It was at Mission Lago over in Thanodisasa, and
Oh, you got that right. I messed that up every single time.
Yeah, that town name.
Yeah.
I'm proud about that.
Yeah. Well, if your event is in the town,
Yeah,
you
you
should be
gotta
able to
know.
say it, right?
Also, there were dogs at the event, which made
There
it
were dogs.
officially the
Oh
best
my
gala to have ever
gosh.
happened.
Yeah, there was
Did you have lint rollers too? Because
yeah,
gala.
we had a couple of adoptables coming from the Pet Resource Center.
Yeah.
They brought them because it's right over there. And we have a partnership with them, and they're phenomenal over there. Some great people, and they're doing some great work. And they brought a couple of adoptables over, and
That was the
just
best.
got to mingle with the dogs.
Now you know
and
what I did the whole time at the gala.
That's
they had a great
amazing.
time. People loved the dogs there. There's like 4 of them.
How can you not?
And I think it helps the cause because it's it gets to show these dogs out of the shelter, which like dogs inside of a shelter versus out is that like completely different.
Yep.
Like the shelters are a very like high stress environment, so you can imagine like when you walk in, dogs are barking because they hear other dogs barking.
Yeah.
It's just like a very stressful environment. So getting them out of that and seeing them be playful, like rolling around in the grass,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
The resource center, that's the one on
Like Falkenberg.
Yeah. So I went there when you
Yeah.
guys were having an event, and there was one puppy that I just was super adorable. But I signed up as a foster
Uh-huh.
for them, and now I just get emails pretty much every day for honestly kennel stress dogs that are just there for a long time that
Yep.
have just need to be at
Out.
home, and I really want to, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. So.
Well, also, isn't your dog didn't you start by fostering that?
Yeah,
It was
so
not
that's
a plan to
that's
keep.
foster failure.
That's
Yeah,
what
foster
it is.
failure.
So that's really what it
That's what
is.
it
So
call-
like,
yeah.
if we did it again, that's what would happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know that, and I can't have another.
You gotta
dog
make
right
sure you're
now.
ready for it.
I knew when
Yeah.
you took that dog in, I was like, he's
Yeah.
never giving that back.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like every time we go to the shelter, because we do like a bunch of like volunteer days and stuff like that. We go, and when we're leaving, it's like 3 or 4 different dogs. We're like,
Yeah,
should we?
Maybe.
But it's like, and Mariah, like every time she's like, "Did you see this?" And I'm like, I said, "We have got to, like, we've got to leave. We
Yeah.
cannot do it right now. Like I have to be the voice of reason, and I hate it because so many dogs in there.
Yeah.
You can just like take home, and they're just like
Oh.
sweet dogs.
Amazing. That's incredible. We're talking to Chris Godwin. So outside of hanging out with the dogs, what do you like to do outside of football? You talk about basically all you do is play football and recover from football.
do football.
So is there anything else you get a chance to do?
I love photography. I get to do it more in the off season than I do in season. Play a video game, like playing Call of Duty, like mostly. What else do I do? Me and Mariah do a lot of just like hanging out. Just like we watch a lot of TV shows.
Don't you love board games and stuff too, and like playing games?
I do love playing games.
Did you see his face?
He
just now?
lit up.
He lit up the way you lit up when he said he
This is
played
an
O-line.
offensive
Yeah.
line.
I enjoy playing games, board games, like all types of games. Like we played a ton of games. Like I like the competitive nature, but it's also like you get to see people in like this like interesting like atmosphere that maybe they're not so used to. Like because like we compete, right? But like our wives don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like our friends who don't play like in like a sport, they don't. So it's like let's see who you really are, and you get to see people start kind of cheating. You're like, I didn't know you were that sneaky.
Oh, are you a cheater?
Never.
No, of course
could-
not.
Very
What a-
clear.
No,
Obviously.
I could not sleep with myself. I don't want to win that way. Like I'll tell you after, like if I thought at you, I'm like, yo, like
It didn't
Yeah.
even
You
count.
act-
It didn't even
It didn't
Tells
count.
on
count.
himself, yeah.
I really can't sleep with myself if I do
That's
that.
amazing.
There's no fun
Allie,
in that.
Are you a cheater?
Cheating?
Yeah. He
I don't like
hesitated
that.
a little bit
I
more.
don't
Yeah.
like that.
So no, I don't anymore. But I used to talk about
I
how
like that
people can
honesty.
change.
Yeah.
You know, Monopoly, like growing up.
Were you the banker?
Yeah. I mean, come on. That was easy money.
Bank's
Now
too
we know
big to fail.
First of all, now we understand why Allie was able to retire so early. He learned
skimming
on
off the top.
Monopoly. Yeah,
Yeah.
he learned a few things here. I like
No,
that.
but now, no, I totally agree. I wouldn't, it was like not even fun at that point.
Yeah.
So both of you also struck me as this way of being extremely competitive and also extremely nice. Chris, for you, how do those things work together, particularly in football or other games of where like I know you want to win above all things.
Yeah.
And then you're also just a really nice guy. And so how does that work on the field for
They
you?
definitely like go at that like
Yeah, a little
butt
conflict.
heads up on. Yeah, because it's like I'll mostly be chill like until someone tries to cheat, or like if it's like really like getting down like to the wire like so for instance right me and Mariah like during quarantine, my brother-in-law and my best friend from home Jamar they got stuck with us at our home for like 2 or 3 months, and so like we're just like playing games and stuff like every night. And one night we were just playing Pong, and like Mariah's never played before, and so it's me and Mariah versus them two.
Oh no.
And like she's more athletic now, you know, but like at the time like she's not overly competitive, so like she's like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Well,
And so-
playing with someone who's not in it, it's like
Yeah.
it's not even worth it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's almost infuriating.
Yeah.
And so like we're throwing and like we're all like locked in, and she's just like it's like bouncing everywhere, like not even remotely close to like getting it in the cup, and like she's laughing, and now I'm like, what are you laughing at? Like this is not
funny.
This is not funny. Like I'm basically playing it by myself. I would do better if I was playing by myself.
I'm sure that went over real well.
It wasn't great,
Yeah.
you know. But now she tries a lot harder, and like she understands like
We've met in the middle.
We've got to win.
It's
Yes.
only fun if everybody's trying.
Yes.
Actually, everybody's trying like their best. Otherwise, it's like
Yeah.
the win doesn't count. It's a wash.
What are we,
Yeah.
What are we doing?
What are we doing here?
But coming full circle now, like we'll play cards at home, like me and Mariah, just like different card games, and she is currently kicking my ass.
Wow. So you created a monster now.
I did, and
You should have
and-
left her
and she
to not
talks
care.
trash to me now too, and so that gets me a bit like revved up inside. But you know, I'll let her keep one of her.
That's phenomenal. All right, we're
You
going
don't
to
let her
take.
keep.
I will
Yeah,
not.
no,
I'm trying to beat her.
We're done, yeah, we're done with the charity now. All right, we're going to take one more break here on Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. This is Buccaneers Radio. Welcome back into Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters. We're coming to you from the Hooters Owl's Nest. Casey Phillips, Allie Marpet, Chris Godwin. So we were talking about your competitiveness before this. Tell me, for you at this point in your career, if as you think about it, are you like, man, this is exactly where I wanted to be? Are you even like amazed at where you've come to this point and just kind of evaluating like Chris Godwin at this point in his career?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
I don't.
I knew that would get you.
I don't know if I. Yeah, I guess the answer is like, yes. I at times I am like not surprised, but I'm just like, man, like what a life. And I remember maybe it was we were on our honeymoon actually, me and Mariah, in St. Lucia, and I was just like, it was like so we got married the same year that we won the Super Bowl, so
You had a
like
good year.
it's a great year.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I was just, we were like sitting like in a pool or something, and I was like looking at like just like where we were, like the situation and what we had been through that year. I'm like, man, like how dope is this? Like it's like getting to do what you love to do, what you've always wanted to do, and like, you know, most people don't even get the chance to get in the playoffs, let alone make a Super Bowl and then like win one, and like to win it at home, to have the boat parade, and the experience that was, to get to do it with like a bunch of your friends that you really really enjoy being around. To marry your high school sweetheart and to be as close as we are, and going through this whole thing, it was really surreal, and it's something that I'm very grateful for, and I try to verbalize that to myself and just like to other people as well, because like I think it's very important to to not get so caught up in like the end goal of everything, because I think that you're gonna miss life, because like life happens in the journey, and so like I'm very very grateful, very fortunate, and just like appreciative of where I'm at, how far I've come, and just like like I'm excited about what's left.
I'm gonna start calling him Guru Godwin over here. I feel like that was just like the best
Unbelievable.
life advice ever.
But then also your question was like about like, did you expect this for yourself? And
Yeah.
then you talked about like what the Super Bowl, your relationship, like the playing with people that you want to play with, like all those things. And I think, I'm not saying the question was geared towards like personal, like individual success, but then your answer had everything to do with like other people.
Yeah.
Which is Guru Godwin.
Oh, it's really cool. I love that. So what are the goals you have for yourself now for the rest of your career?
I think my primary goal at this point is just to try to win more championships. I've been fortunate enough that I've been All Pro, I've made the Pro Bowl, I've won a Super Bowl. So like I feel like those are three things that people, if you play like that's a good thing.
Those are
Those are the three.
Check.
But so now I'm
So
like
keep doing that.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So just trying to keep elevating. Like I feel like I have so much more like left to give to the game, and just like to just do. But like my primary goal is just to try to win championships, because it was so much fun. And like looking back on it, it's like, again, like the journey. And so we have great memories during that process, because it wasn't all pretty. Like what were we, 7-5 when we lost to the Chiefs, and then we win 8 straight. It's like there's beautiful things like in those moments, and I would love to have more of them.
Well, I think what's also unique, and you had enough, I think, years where like you had the perspective of it's hard to win.
Yes.
So like you understood that like it's very difficult to get to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I think that speaks to like when you're talking about how appreciative and how grateful you are, like you can really have that perspective, because it's like, this is special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I mean, on the other side of it, like we haven't been back yet.
Right.
So like it's definitely hard. It's hard to win in this league. It's hard to make plays. Like people think that it's roll the ball out, go out there, and why'd you miss that throw? Why'd you miss that block? You gotta catch that.
Gotta catch
like
that.
what's the defense doing? But it's like it's never that cut and dry.
It does drive me a little crazy when I'll hear, the commentators or different people be like, that was such an easy one. And I'm like,
I would love to
don't
see you
think
try.
there is a single moment that is easy on the football. I'm just imagining people that are 300 pounds trying to kill me at any moment, and you don't get to look at them, and you have to focus on the ball. It's just crazy.
What you get more than often than not is got to catch that,
Yeah.
and you got to make that tackle.
Yes.
Like those are the two that like.
Yeah.
Like open field tackling, what?
So
I
hard.
wouldn't stand a chance.
You have most of us would not.
Yeah.
Like-
Especially trying to tackle you.
Yeah,
like,
Like
nope.
go tackle one of the best athletes in the world with 15 yards of space. Like, you have no idea where they're gonna go.
Gotta make it.
Gotta
though.
make it.
Gotta make
Gotta
it.
make it. We need that.
We're talking to Chris Godwin. All right, so got to win this next game, right? Yeah.
Gotta.
Gotta do it. So tell me how this game feels. Does it have that playoff feel to it, knowing sort of the way the standings are and just kind of the significance of doing the numbers here? Does it have that feel, or for you guys is it just another game, one game at a time, all those cliches?
No, I would say that it has like a playoff game feel, and especially since they beat us the first time, and like we actually gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
We actually
so
gotta
this is
have
a real
it.
gotta have it. Okay.
But and we've been kind of talking about that the last couple of weeks, just understanding the mentality that we need to have with the remaining games that we have left. We put ourselves in a bit of a hole, but we can pull ourselves out of it. And it's going to take its all. Like all of us, we have to be on the same page. We have to figure it out. However that manifests. Like it's, last game it was a bit sloppy, but then Mike goes for 150, and it's like, whew, appreciate you, Mike.
So let's do that. Let's do that
5-star
again.
players.
5-star
baby.
player.
you gotta
Yeah,
play
I tell
5
you.
stars.
But it is a must have, and it just comes down to like our execution.
And what do you remember from the first matchup with them, and especially their defense, and what stands out?
Their defense did a really good job. They obviously they retooled their defense over the offseason, brought in a bunch of like impact free agents, and they were playing at a high level. I think there were some opportunities that we missed personally, But at the end of the day, like they did more than we did. And they made the plays like when they needed to. And I think that like there's some lessons there that we can learn from. Like our execution just definitely has to be a lot better offensively. And I think if we're able to do that, it takes some of the pressure off of our defense, so that when they're doing well, we also have to be doing well.
Are you guys as wide receivers celebrating the holidays as a group? Do we decorate the room? Do we do a gift exchange?
You got enough young guys.
How-
We
yeah.
definitely have enough young
Tap
guys.
into that.
So we just had them decorate the room maybe like last Wednesday.
How was it?
It's nice.
Okay.
It's like
I was surprised.
I heard the O-lineman may have had to do it a second time, that they were told it was insufficient the first time. You got to get your group together,
Hate to
Allie.
see it.
Hey,
Okay.
definitely hate
So
to see it.
your young guys did a better job?
Yeah, and I think our receiver coach Brad actually took part in a lot of it. So I think our coaches get a lot of credit too. Young guys, they gotta step it up. But it's like a mixed bag of everything. It's like anything holiday this season, like it's there. And there was like they put like these little like reindeer like mannequins basically like
Little figurines or whatever?
yeah, figurines, yeah.
I like
on
the idea of
on-
mannequins, though.
just a big
we know what you're talking
reindeer.
about.
Naked reindeer.
But they put him on the table, and I got in. I was like, "Where's Rudolph?" Because like none of them had a red nose. I ain't like that.
So they had to go out and get it one.
No, I took matters in my own hands.
Okay.
And
That's
I got
a true leader.
but I got
right
I got a
there.
piece of tape that was nearby, just like Scotch tape. Just colored it red, stuck it right on top. That's
Look at
Rudolph.
Nice.
But the room is decorated, and we do Secret Santa. So we all, have somebody that we're gonna gift the little present to, and then I think we'll do it the Friday before the Jags game.
Nice.
It's always a good time.
Are there any rules or any like?
Just like a minimum.
Okay, but do you have like no technology, nothing like that?
No.
Because
nothing.
we've had like years where it's like everybody got like an iPad or something like
And
that.
it's like, oh, great.
Sick.
Yeah.
So I guess what I got.
We
for
just
you.
all swapped it.
It's all spot.
See, it's
Nah, but
sometimes the parameters.
there are no rules, but I don't expect that everybody will do like iPads or something like that, like technology.
You're doing a white elephant, yada Yankee
No.
swap. Dude, you got
We're just doing just like I got you,
Yeah.
and like we thought about doing a white elephant, and then Brad started talking about some stories from Seattle where
It gets brutal.
He was like I think he was like because he was in the quarterback's room, I think, and like Russell got some like 2 tickets to anywhere, right? And like somebody got it, Brad stole that from them, and then I guess there's 2 steals,
and then it's locked. Yeah.
and I guess Drew Lock or someone like that took it from Brad, and like,
So now Brad's like,
Brad's salty. He's still salty about it to this day.
Well, here's the
Like,
thing: you're the older guy, and so you usually go by age.
Yeah.
So like, if I'm the old guy, I want to play White Elephant or whatever Yankee Swap.
Because
or whatever, so.
you want
You're in
you want
charge.
the good stuff.
That's what you kind of do.
Yeah, we thought about it, but I think so from my perspective, I was like, I want the people to like think about what gift they're getting, like who they're getting a gift for,
Right,
and
okay.
get it, as opposed to just getting like something that
generic.
generic that people might like, and now you're stuck with a gift that like,
Strategery.
I
That's what
will.
that is.
I will say I got stuck with the camera once because my original thing got swapped twice because Blaine stole it. And the whole thing. I'm very upset about it.
Yeah.
But I got a camera and brought it on my trips, dude.
sick.
Yeah, awesome. So you never know.
That's a good point.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for coming on our show. This has been a blast, and Allie and I both do retweet your sentiment earlier. You're a great guy. You're one of the best on the team, both on the field and off. So thank you very much, and good luck this next week.
Much appreciated.
All
Appreciate you
right.
having me.
And thanks to all of you guys for joining us here on Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. This is Buccaneers Radio.
Yes.
I was hoping
Yes.
you'd hear the
Yeah, it wasn't as much. Need a little bit of a sharper sword.
Yeah. It's okay.